Oh, mama, I can hear you a crying. You're so scared and all alone. Man is coming down from the gallows that I don't have very long.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to another NFL week number 7, Steel City Renegades. I am here with my main man, Deez. How you doing, Deez?
You know damn well how I'm doing.
And then the man that's coming back from vacation, Mr. Ryan Neff, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan, how are you doing this fine morning? 8 a.m. for some of us, 7 a.m. for others. Please make sure you
I'm
guys...
doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. I'm not sure about these though.
Yeah, Deez is worked up today, man. He's worked up big time. But it's all good. So, Deez, somebody's got their phone playing in the background. I can hear it. No? Ryan, you got yours playing? Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
There is sound bleed through. I don't know if it's coming through somebody's computer screen or what, but go ahead. What now?
Deez, what's your thoughts on this 33-31 loss by the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, again, when we did the schedule this past year, at the beginning of the year, I had us losing this game. Deez, your thoughts on this 31-30 or 33-31 loss to the Cincinnati Bengals and a 40-year-old Joe Flacco who lit us up for 360 and 3 touchdowns. Go ahead, Deez. Floor is yours.
I mean, okay, if we want to go back in time and look at the schedule, if after this game we're looking at it and somebody says, "Hey, you're going to be 4-2," we'd probably take that. Without a doubt, we would take that. But the reality of it is, we should be 6-0, if not for the implosion after the kickoff that Caleb Johnson kind of cost us against Seattle, that changed the nature of that game, and then the debacle that we watched Thursday night. Not against the Cincinnati Bengals that we thought we were going to face. We thought we were going to be facing Trey Hendrickson, Joe Burrow, but no, we were facing no Trey Henderson, no Joe Burrow. It was Joe Flacco, because the Cleveland Browns are absolutely fucking stupid. Mike Tomlin was right on his rant on that. I don't know why you would trade a quarterback to a quarterback needy team within your division, but it is what it is. But apparently Mike knew what he was talking about, because the same Joe Flacco absolutely kicked our ass up and down the field in the same manner last year against the Indianapolis Colts. I'm pretty heated in a lot of different directions. First and foremost, there is absolutely zero negative that we can say about this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. They were great. They did exactly what you're supposed to do against a bad defense that gave up 30 points a game. They went out, they scored 31. The run game was working. Aaron Rodgers on the one touchdown pass had 8.6 seconds to throw the ball. If you give Aaron Rodgers 8.5 seconds to throw I guarantee you it's going to be a completed pass. And in this case, it was a touchdown. They did what they were supposed to do against a very bad Cincinnati defense. They scored 31 points. If I tell you that you're going to get 31 points I don't give a fuck who you're playing against. If I tell you you're going to score 31 points, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to feel like you're going to win that game. And with the defense that this team has put together, it should be a 100% certainty that we win a game if we score 31 points every single week. But guess what? That doesn't happen because Mike Tomlin is a big fucking dipshit.
All right, so let's talk about the offense real quick. Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns, two INTs. Jonnu Smith had a touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, who we talked about, hasn't seen much balls come his way. He had 2 touchdowns in this game.
Time out. Before we get into it, you said 2 interceptions.
Yes.
I just want to get this on record. Both, not one, both of those interceptions I'm putting on DK Metcalf. One, 1,000% because he should have held on to the ball. The other one, okay, maybe Aaron shouldn't have thrown it. I get it. But if you watch the all 22 of that, DK kind of gives up on it. When he sees that it's overthrown, DK pulls up. If he runs to the guy, maybe he breaks it up. So I'm only going to give Aaron a half interception on that. All right, now go on.
Okay, so Pat Freiermuth, who has been invisible in this offense, had 2 touchdowns. Mount Washington, 1 touchdown. Freiermuth had 5 catches, 116 yards. Maybe a display put on for him for trade bait. A lot of talk that the Steelers might trade him, get a wide receiver number 2, or get another defensive player. We'll talk about that before trade or here a little bit later in the show. But Ryan, your thoughts on the Steelers' loss to Cincinnati?
Defense is in trouble. You scored 31 points. I mean, I know they turned the ball over twice, but still, I know you scored 31 points. You should win the game. Cincinnati controlled the clock. I mean, the rushing was the same. They were both effective on 3rd downs. Look, the defense is what it is. You're not going to fix it overnight. Can they fix it? Yeah, but it's going to take a hell of a fix. I don't know what they're going to do by the trade deadline. But again, like Deez was saying in the green room pre-show, it's all about schematics.
Yeah, it's not personnel whatsoever. If you put a fucking competent defensive coach in charge of these guys, they dominate. Fucking dominate.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do at the deadline defensively, if they're going to trade for somebody, but it's still not going to matter. You're having trouble with the defense at halftime. You've got to make adjustments. I didn't see it out of the Steelers. Look, Cincinnati was a corner dog this game. They were staring at 2 and 5 in the face, waiting for Joe Burrow to come back in December. You back a dog into a corner, they're going to fight. And that's what the Bengals did. I didn't think the Bengals were going to win this game, but it's the ability to make adjustments on the fly. It's the ability to make adjustments at halftime. It's the ability to make in-game adjustments as the game's going on. And the Steelers' defensive coaches, as far as Tomlin goes, didn't make the adjustments.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And it's not a tough adjustment.
I don't understand.
They're killing you in the slant.
I don't understand why he can't make the adjustments or doesn't think the adjustments need to be made. I mean, Deez talks about Jalen Ramsey, against T. Higgins and against Jamar Chase. I've seen both him and Slay and Joey Porter Jr. all get burned by them guys. Yeah, you may say it's the scheme, Deez, but they left them wide open multiple times across the field. And Flacco at 40, like you said, he's played Pittsburgh multiple times, so he knows what they're bringing. But you as a player got to know you can't give them guys 1-2 yard cushion for them to get in front of you or step, especially Higgins and Chase. You cannot do that because you'll see what happens. It doesn't matter what quarterback is back there, Jake Browning, Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, whatever, you're still going to get burned if you give them 1 or 2 steps. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, his defense has got a lot of money invested into it. They made some key trades. I'm not happy with it. You talk about, TJ Watt, you said nobody better blame us on Watt or whatever. Listen, you're one of the top 4, not the best.
You
Hold on a
can't
second.
get
Hold on a second. You're one of the top 4 defensive players in the league. You need to find ways to get to the quarterback.
Well, then you better learn how to fucking teleport, because the average snap to throw for Joe Flacco was 2.3 seconds.
Well, also okay, that's my
You
opinion.
cannot blame that on the pass rush. You
Well,
can't. I'm sorry.
You got to blitz. You got to blitz more.
Lawrence fucking Taylor couldn't get there in 2.3 seconds. Joe Flacco, if Jake Browning plays that game, we win, for the simple fact that Jake Browning has only faced the Steelers a couple times. That would have been twice. Joe Flacco, he said it. He literally said it in the post-game press conference. I knew what they were going to run.
Okay.
So you know where your hot read is.
D's, I don't disagree with you, but as a Steelers fan looking at this defense, I mean, everybody calls it elite. I mean, people call it a top 5 defense in the league. You gave up 33 points. This is the 3rd time this season you've given up more than 30 points. Something's got to be done out of 7 games, or what are you, 4-2 out of 6 games? So half of your games this year, you've given up 30 points. I'm not confident in his defense moving forward. If we want to win, we're going to have to put up 50 points on offense in order to shut this to win football games.
But like I said, the problem, other than Keanu Benton, it isn't a matter of personnel. It's not. The personnel is fine. It's 100% schematics. Keanu Benton, I'll give you. He's not playing well. Peyton Wilson, we kind of fried early. He wasn't playing well. He's been playing a lot better. But when you're telling your corners to not get beat deep because you've got bracket coverage, safeties over the top, and then you've got a soft ass base drop zone within the middle with the linebackers and everything. Any quarterback that's been, even halfway decent can see that and recognize it. And you're already, when you're playing outside leverage the way that this defense does, because they don't want to get beat deep. I don't care if it's Jamar Chase or anybody, fucking slants are open all day, every day, because you're already giving them a step. And if you give guys like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins a step, you might as well give them 10 steps. And especially a quarterback like Joe Flacco, who only has to make one step and throw, they're going to pick you apart. Absolutely. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and also too, this running game opened up. I mean, they averaged 35 yards a game over the last
58 for the season. They were at 57 per.
And Chase Brown ran all over them. Once again, we need to fix that. You spent money on the defensive line, and you drafted players to come in there and tidy up that defensive line, and it hasn't been done. You haven't done anything with it yet. You got to find a way to stop the run, because if not, you got Baltimore coming up, you got the Colts, you got the Chargers. Three games that I think that. Well, no, you got the Packers next, the Colts, the Chargers, and then the Bengals again. I think you go 2-2 in them next 4 games. I really do. I think you go. I mean, because Colts are playing out of their mind, Chargers are still good. Packers are a very good team. I don't know, this defense got to step up somehow, some way. They got to make plays, or Tomlin's got to see what's going on out there. You say Tomlin's the man on the defense. Do you mean to tell me that Cam Haywood or TJ Watt doesn't go to him and say, hey, we need to change something up to win these football games? Rodgers is over there throwing what did he throw? 45 passes?
What in your mind makes you think that Mike Tomlin is going to listen to anyone who tells him how to do something when he's been doing it for 20 years?
Well, I mean, the results are still the same. You're going to get to the first round of the playoffs and lose.
Since Mike Tomlin took over the defense, which was essentially like the last year of Dick LeBeau's existence here, this is what we have seen. They dumbed down, like James Harrison even said it when he retired, but then unretired and went to Cincinnati and then came back to Pittsburgh. He said that the defense was so ridiculously dumbed down that all the exotic shit, because you remember back when Dick LeBeau was the man, right? Yes. And anytime that they would draft a defensive player in the first or second round, how often did that first and second player start?
You didn't.
Never, because the defense was too complicated. Even not arguably, one of the greatest safeties to ever play the game, arguably the best, depends who you ask, but Troy Polamalu. could not get the defense down enough to be able to start his rookie year. He played quite a bit, made some splash, but he wasn't ready because that defense was so complex. That's why rookie quarterbacks didn't stand a chance. Veteran quarterbacks barely stood a chance because you could look across the field and not have a clue what they were doing. And now that's not the case. We still have great personnel, but when you run the same sets over and over and over and over, especially against a quarterback like Joe Flacco that has seen it, you know what's coming. Like I said before we went on the air, Julian Edelman just said in a podcast last week that he used to love playing the Pittsburgh Steelers because they knew our defense better than our defense knew our defense. They knew what was going to be open, when it was going to be open, and how many yards they were going to get out of it. Like when, and that's not the first time you've heard that. Think back over the last 5 or 6 years over a loss. Think back how many times you've seen an opposing player make a comment about that. Oh, well, we knew what they were going to do. We knew what they were doing. That's not a fucking coincidence. It's because they know what we're doing against, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Deez, I understand that and the frustration with that, and we're beating a dead horse by talking about the Tomlin defense, but still the players that you put out on the field have to make plays. I mean, you spent you got Darius Slay, you got Jalen Ramsey, you got this person, you got that person, and plays are still not being made. You're professional. You're getting beat by steps by T. Higgins, Osiavas, Noah Fant across the middle. You mean to tell me that these players can't adjust? I know it's coaching that sends us the players out there, but you're telling me that these players can't adjust on the fly to what's going on there? I mean, I'm not understanding this. Like,
I mean, they're running the plays that are called. I mean, what are you going to do? I get what you're saying. And yeah, I'd like to see somebody like TJ or Jalen or whatever be like, you know what? Fuck you, coach. This is what we need to do. But it doesn't happen because then you're no longer in the NFL. Then you're disgruntled. Then you get shipped out. Like it just doesn't work that way. As much as I would love to see it work that way, it doesn't. I mean, and yeah, it's great. Players should make plays. But if I tell you to go to the post office and get my mail, guess what? The mail isn't going to fucking be there because I have a mailbox out in front of my house. But you did what I told you to do, so you didn't deliver. That's what's going on with this defense. Like they're where they're supposed to be, but they're not where they should be because the defense is so fucking repetitive. It's so predictable. Like,
well, then if you know you got people talking about it, like Julian Edelman, Joe Flacco, and you're Mike Tomlin as a head coach, and I'm going to ask you this, Ryan, why are you not making adjustments? Why are you sticking with the same old watered down defense that you've had for the last 20 or 10 years?
Mike Tomlin would say, we're still 4-2 with the scheme that we're running. We're still 4-2 because some coaches are just set in their ways. It can still work. We've been through this before. We've been through ruts before. It's still going to work. We just need to work on it. We need to improve. Those are the types of things that he's going to say because that's what he does.
Yeah.
So
he's had just enough success that he can rest on that bullshit. Like, look at my record, never losing season. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I'm telling you don't know what the fuck you're doing because proof's in the pudding.
Yep.
I mean, my thoughts on that is why don't these reporters or anybody from the media ask him what? I mean, you guys have been stagnant on defense over the last couple of years. Why haven't you guys made any adjustments? All these teams beat you with the slats. You got these people coming out saying that they know how to play against you. They know what you're calling. Joe Flacco called it out this week. We know what you're shooting or what we're lining up against. How come nobody asked him that?
No, they do. They do. They ask him questions like that, and Mike Tomlin gives Mike Tomlin answers. He dances around it and Tomlinisms, and we don't live in our fears and this, that, and the other. I watch that shit all the time. I listen daily. I listen to DK Sports. I listen to Locked On Steelers. I listen to Steel here. I listen to all these guys that are credentialed reporters that literally in the other room right now, before I got in the shower to come on this show, I was watching your boy Noah Strackbine. And that's all they talk about. It's the same shit over and over and over. And they do ask Tomlin that. And he gives the standard canned Tomlin fucking bullshit responses. Nothing's going to change. We are going to be just good enough to like where we get hype and yeah, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. But then come playoff time, we're going to get absolutely waxed. And the only thing that may be different this year is if healthy, our offense might actually keep us in the game a little bit better because we got Aaron Rodgers and we got some studs out there.
And let's talk about Aaron Rodgers real quick. 41 years old. We're at the halfway point of the season. I looked at his stats from last year. He's got 14 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions. He's on pace to beat his touchdown passes from last year, which at 30. And I know you give him a half of interception, but you got to quit turning the ball over, whether it's DK or whoever, not running out the play and not holding on to the ball. It's still an interception. It goes down on Aaron's stats. I'm pretty sure he's not happy about that. But Rodgers is playing really good. He was moving around. He scrambled a couple times, made some plays. I still think he's got something left in the tank. A lot of people think that he doesn't, but Aaron puts you in positions to win football games, and I like that with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to ask you, Ryan, your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers already halfway through the football season here.
I think Aaron Rodgers' best friend is the fact that they could run the football. They did it against Cincinnati. Warren had 16 touches for 127 yards. I would like to see Warren get some more touches in the backfield. Or Gainwell only had 3 catches. Look, Rodgers is seeing the field really well. Does he make the occasional dumbass throw? Yes. He only threw the ball 34 times, completed 23 of them, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's playing at a high level. But again, his best friend is a running game. It was well balanced as far as I was concerned offensively. But again, you're scoring 31 points. And listen, offensive linemen, stop tackling him. You're going to get him hurt if you do shit like that.
He wasn't happy.
No. I'm impressed with the way Aaron's playing right now. He's playing at a high level. He's seeing the field. He's seeing what the defense is doing. So, look, it's not on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is doing all he can. He still has the arm strength. He can still read a defense. Even though he's an idiot off the field, he's playing at a high level on the field right now.
What do you mean by he's an idiot off the field?
He's just an idiot. He's an idiot off the field, smoking his shit, sitting in dark rooms, whatever he does off the field. He's almost like a Zen, a Zen kind of guy, doing quirky stuff, listening to tales. He's a Swiftie.
I don't give a shit what he does off the field as long as he keeps playing the way he's been playing.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of arm strength, let's just talk about that real quick. 69.8 yards from a 41-year-old arm is what that ball traveled, that Hail Mary. That, that was as good a shot as any.
Yeah.
So nobody can tell me that he's washed, because he's not. There is one thing missing from Aaron Rodgers' game, and that's the speed that his legs had 10 years ago. And he can still get outside the pocket and, buy himself a little bit of time.
Here's the other thing, too. I know that we talked about this earlier on in the season. With Rodgers playing the way that he is, and if Pittsburgh has the opportunity to go to the playoffs this year and get a win and lose after that, does Rodgers come back for 2026, or is he still firm on one and done?
No, I think again, I'm sticking by what I said. I think if the potential is there, like they actually win a playoff game and like, oh man, we were so close. I think he definitely will lean towards coming back. If he finishes the season healthy, I think he's coming back. Now, if we completely fall on our ass and don't win a playoff game, or which I won't say miss the playoffs, because I'm still fairly confident at 4-2 that we're not going to completely implode as long as we stay healthy. But I think he would probably say that he's leaning on coming back, unless he has to watch that fucking $180 million defense get absolutely raped up and down the field by a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. And I might look at that and be like, no, I'm not coming back. Not unless, Tomlin hires a real defensive coordinator.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that he's got this game versus the Packers circled on his calendar?
Oh, without a doubt. Why would you not? I think he's just mad that it's at Pittsburgh rather than Green Bay. Honestly, I mean, because I think that he would absolutely love to play there. I think it's going to be a tough game for the simple fact that Jordan Love hasn't spent his career playing against the Steelers. So I look for us defensively to look a lot better against Green Bay. And I know that that may sound crazy, but again, it's a division game. All right, I'm pissed off and everything, but over the years, how many times have we watched Pittsburgh Steelers as a team be way better than anybody in our division, whether it was Baltimore when they were bad, Cleveland, Cincinnati? But how many times have we watched them lose or almost lose to a very poor divisional opponent? And then the next week they go out and they fucking beat like the top team in the league. It's happened a lot in the last decade, and I expect the same coming up next week. Not saying we're going to win that game, but I'm saying that I bet at the end of that game we feel a lot better about our defense than we felt about it watching Cincinnati.
Yeah, but one game is not going to change the perspective of this defense where other people are looking at it. You got to put multiple games together with shutdown defense. One game's not going to do it. You got, like I said, you got.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to completely flip flop our opinion or anything, but I think you're going to see improvement. I mean, look at the first 2 weeks. Our defense sucked. Okay, against the Jets, against the Seattle Seahawks, we gave up 30 points a game, and we were fucking wanting to burn the goddamn city down. And then we go and we play the Vikings. Okay, these boys can play. They're looking good. Then we play Cleveland, shut them down, and started to look trending towards elite. And we're all fucking hype and getting little woodies and all this and that and the other. Then what happens? We play Cincinnati, and they take us behind the woodshed.
I mean, you're right, but I mean, you got to put a good stretch of games together. Like I said, Packers next, Colts, Chargers, 3 tough games here in the middle of the schedule for the Steelers. Hopefully we can, like I said, go 2-2 in this stretch. I mean, we play the Bengals again, the Bears we play after that, and then we got the Bills who are playing good, and then the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Browns, and the Ravens again. I still got us going 11-6. But I just think that again, Dees and Ryan, that this defense got to put together 3 or 4, maybe a 5-game stretch where you give up less than 15 points a game, and they can do it. They can do it. I mean, you see, Riders can put up the points. I also think that the Steelers do need to get a secondary wide receiver. I mean, we've seen Roman Wilson have a couple good plays this game. So I mean, I don't know if that's going to be your second, but I think that their focus is on getting another wide receiver at trade deadline. I don't know who it is. I heard Jacoby Myers. I heard Chris Olave. I've heard Jalen Waddle. I've heard multiple players linked to the Steelers, as we do all the time. Ryan, your thoughts on the Steelers getting a second wide receiver, or do you even care?
I don't know. You get a second wide receiver, it still doesn't improve the defense at all. You know what I mean? They could go out and get anybody. I mean, it wouldn't matter. The defense still needs to improve. I'll just say this again: Darnell Washington had three catches for 2 yards. I'm still not understanding why they don't utilize his skill set with that size. I just don't get it. But again, Waddle, Olave, it's not going to matter. They can throw up 31 points a game. They can give up 33 points a game too. You mentioned those 4 games they have coming up. They could go 0-4 in those 4 games easily. Yep. with the way the defense is playing. So even if they bring in another receiver, I would still like to see them go maybe a big fat dude to eat up space in the middle, free up everybody else. Yeah, you got DK Metcalf. I know Freiermuth broke out. Jonnu Smith had an okay game. So, but again, even if they bring in another number, if they bring in a number 2 receiver, a true number 2, I don't know how much improvement it's going to make as far as the defense goes. So,
I mean, I'm not opposed to it because as the season goes on, and you guys all know that teams are going to start to adjust to DK Metcalf and to these tight ends. So I'm not saying we need to go out and sell the farm to get an AJ Brown because I don't think that would work. I think more along the lines of a Olave or Waddle, somebody that is a true two, because teams are going to adjust. Teams are going to start to see what we're doing, especially with the big packages that we're doing. Going back to your comment on Darnell Washington, yeah, I'd like to see him, catch a few more balls, but he was second in the team in targets. The leader had 6 targets. He had 5. 2 of them he just flat out dropped. But they are using him to his strength in that he's coming in and he's dominating on the offensive line. I'd like to see him actually break out a little more into routes, but right now, the way our line is, they got to do a little bit more of that. But a 2 receiver, I think, is a necessary evil. I just don't want him to overspend on somebody that isn't going to get use. We need somebody that's a threat, but not a threat to DK, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. You talked about AJ Brown. What do you think it would take to get AJ Brown if you're
I don't want AJ Brown.
But if they want to get AJ Brown, what do you think the cost is to get him?
Too much, because he's already making close to $30 million a year.
Okay, so you go get
They're going to want at least 2 or 3, a 2 or a 3, if not more.
You go get Chris Olave. What do you give up for him?
No more than a third at the absolute most.
You don't think that they give up a player for him? Maybe
not if you don't have to.
So the Saints, say if the Saints want Alex Highsmith, do you give up Alex Highsmith?
I'm not giving up Highsmith or Herbig for nothing. I'm just not. We've got 3 really good pass rushers. Anybody who calls about them, unless they're offering a first round pick, can lick my taint. It's not happening. It would be stupid, absolutely stupid, to give up on Highsmith or Herbig or whatever. I know everybody's on Highsmith right now. Stupid, because what happens if tomorrow we trade Alex Highsmith and then Sunday night against Green Bay, TJ Watt gets a high ankle sprain or God forbid something worse? What happens? I'll tell you what happens. We're fucked. That's what happens. If we lose one of those guys now, it's not so bad. We can survive with Highsmith and Herbig as our 1 and 2, or Watt and Herbig.
Okay. Do you think that the Saints would take Cole Holcomb for Olave and maybe a 6th round pick?
Maybe, but again, I don't know that I trade Cole Holcomb. He's actually played well. I'd like to see Cole Holcomb on the field a little bit more. He's a better run stuffer than Peyton Wilson.
Well, Deez, I mean, you want to keep all these guys, but also you want to get better on defense and scheme.
Because it's not the personnel is what I'm saying.
No, I get that. I get that. But if you have an opportunity to go get another player who can make you better, or you think that can make you better, and you have to give up somebody like a Cole Holcomb or an Alex Highsmith in order to make that offense, we know what we can do on offense, but the scheme, you got to have somebody to fit your scheme. Like Ryan says, you got to get a big guy in on the front line too as well. So, I mean, if you got to give up one of them guys, you're going to have to give up one of them guys. And as fans of the Steelers, yeah, we're going to be upset, but if it's going to make you better defensively and scheme wise, we don't, if Tomlin allows them to play the scheme instead of his scheme, then we're going to be better in the long run, but you're going to have to lose one of them guys in order to win.
Well,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
First off, in your little fantasy land, the scheme isn't going to change no matter what happens. Getting rid of one of those guys doesn't make our defense better in any scenario whatsoever, because the coaching is the coaching. So if you ship one of those guys away and bring a wide receiver in, it doesn't fix the defense at all. Keeping those guys doesn't fix the defense, but it at least keeps it the way that it is in case someone gets hurt. Highsmith is off the table for me. Period. End of story. Unless it's a high draft pick. Cole Holcomb, I could live with. I would rather not, but I could live with somebody like Cole Holcomb. I could even live with Pat Fryermuth. As much as I like the guy and he's super talented in the passing game, he just isn't quite up to par when it comes to blocking and whatnot. So I think he could be the odd man out based on his production and the amount of money that he makes. Highsmith, no. If it ain't a first, like, you're going to overspend if you want me to get rid of Alex Highsmith, because I've seen what happens when we don't have depth at outside linebacker.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll find out. Trade deadline is what is it?
2 weeks.
2 more weeks. We'll see if the Steelers make a move or whatever. Ryan, your thoughts right now. I'm going to ask you this, and then I'll go to D's. Ryan, your thoughts on your current MVP on the season NFL. Who is it so far?
That's a tough one. Right now, I would say Baker, just because he's got the Buccaneers 5-1. He's playing at a high level. He's playing out of his mind right now. Some people are saying Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs are still 3-3. I still don't know what I'm getting with the Chiefs. I know they're playing the Raiders this week, which should be an easy win. But I would say Baker just from the way he's playing.
I would agree with you on that. D's, your thoughts on that?
Anyone who says anybody other than Baker Mayfield needs to be punched in the mouth. It's that simple. And I'll even go one step crazier. My number 2 right now, and I almost threw up in my mouth thinking about what I'm about to say. Daniel fucking Jones.
Danny Dimes, baby. Danny Dimes.
I mean, the dude is absolutely slinging it. And I am ashamed to admit, I don't even know how many times on this very show that I cursed at you motherfuckers for even suggesting that we go get Danny Dimes. But let's be honest, Danny Dimes in this system under Mike Tomlin would be Kenny fucking Pickett 2.0. So let's just get that out of the way. What you see him doing in Indianapolis is not what you would see him doing in Pittsburgh. Period, point blank, end of fucking story. The only reason that we are watching Aaron Rodgers do what Aaron Rodgers does is because Aaron Rodgers has the balls and the clout to tell Mike Tomlin to get fucked. You know, like you can't tell Aaron Rodgers to go out there and be Kenny Pickett or, play safe, just dump off 2 yards, 3 yards. No, you don't say that to Aaron Rodgers. But if Danny Dimes was here, the offense that we would see would be the same offense that we saw with Russ, the same offense we saw with Kenny, same offense that we saw with Mason. Very watered down dump offs and occasionally go deep. But with Aaron, you don't get that.
So do you think Aaron has full control of this offense? Him and Arthur Smith have a good rapport?
I don't know about full control. I still think he plays within the offense. I think they get along very well, and I'm sure that he has a pretty heavy influence, because why would you not take advice and suggestions from one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever set foot on the field, who clearly still has the mental capacity and the arm strength to do everything that you want him to do? So sure, he probably has way more control over than any other quarterback has under Mike Tomlin. I mean,
by the way, he did pass Ben Roethlisberger for 5th all-time on touchdown passing in NFL history. Yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's well past him in TDs. He's like 95 touchdowns in front of Ben. But yards, yeah, he finally just passed him.
So yeah, I mean, that I agree with you on that with Danny Dimes. I said that multiple times. When Pittsburgh was looking for a quarterback and they didn't get Rodgers, Danny Dimes was on my list. But Shane Steichen, he must have learned something over there. Danny Dimes must have learned something from Kevin O'Connell sitting back there. I mean, look at the people that's been in Kevin O'Connell's system. Look at Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is having a decent year. Look at Mac Jones, offensive.
Oh, Mike, wait a minute. You're telling me that good coaching makes good players play good? Holy
yes.
Shit. Why have we not figured that out?
Ask Mike Tomlin. Ask Tomlin.
I mean, what did Tomlin do as an assistant coach?
I can't remember anything.
He had one pretty good season as the Minnesota one fucking season as a defensive coordinator. But he comes from the Tony Dungy tree, and he had a decent year in Minnesota. I think he was a DB coach there for a year or two, and then was one season at DC. But he's not this prodigy that, and look, as a man, as somebody that gets in front of people and talks, and as a motivator and all this, I love Mike Tomlin. But he needs to hire coaches that can coach. If you want to be the figurehead of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and if you want to be the guy that gets the credit for the wins and the blame for the losses, fine. I am all in favor of Mike Tomlin keeping his job as the head coach. But for the love of Christ, give up control of the defense and the offense to competent head coaches. Stop handcuffing these guys.
Do you think that's why Brian Flores is not on this coaching staff?
No, I don't think that's why. I fucking know that's why. There's not a doubt in my mind that if Mike Tomlin said, all right, look, Brian, we're going to make you DC. Terrell Austin's going to stick. He's going to go back to DBs. Brian Flores would be a Pittsburgh Steeler right now. But he didn't. He didn't want that because Mike Tomlin knows, God forbid, Brian Flores does something with that defense, he overshadows him. So, no.
Mike Tomlin is the Jerry Jones of head coaches.
Other than Arthur Smith, which is shocked the shit out of me when he hired him. Other than Arthur Smith in Mike Tomlin's tenure, give me just one fucking coordinator or for that fucking matter, positional coach who went on and turned out that, oh my God, they're a great coach. Give me one.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians was under fucking Cowher.
He wasn't under Tomlin?
He was there when Tomlin, Arians was one of the holdovers, but he didn't hire him.
I can't think of any.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a fucking winner because Tomlin doesn't hire anybody that might overshadow him. How many times do we get outside hires for big positions? One. And his name's Arthur Smith.
Yeah, Smith.
Every defensive coordinator has come from within the system.
All right, Ryan, we'll get to you, man. This is our Chiefs segment of the show. What do you think your Chiefs sitting 3-3? You think what do they need to do the rest of the season?
People keep picking my brain about this, and all I'm going to say is the Chiefs are 3-3. They haven't proven anything. Maybe they've righted the ship. I don't know. They should beat the Raiders this week to move to 4-3. But again, I still need to see it consistently. I know they're getting healthy. I know they're getting people back. I still don't have them making the playoffs with the rest of their schedule the way it is. Look, it just remains to talk to me after Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you what I think.
I love the fact that they've got this hype video for the return of Rashee Rice, like he's coming back from some devastating injury. And look, he's going to help them, no doubt. But let's not act like he's coming back from some miracle surgical procedure. The man's a fucking felon and was suspended. And you're playing this hype video like, Jesus Christ is risen. No, the guy's a criminal.
Yeah, I look, they still can't run the football, guys. They still can't run the football. They're compensating by throwing these little bubble screens, get 5 yards a play. I still don't like it because they're still running it back with the same people. Is the defense playing a hell of a lot better? Absolutely. But we know as the season goes on, that's not going to last. Every team goes through a rut at some phase of the season. Look, I still need to see it consistently. They're 3-3. I'm not going to get overly excited about it. I still need to see them put it together through the whole season this year.
They got a tough stretch coming up.
Yeah, I'm not going to get overly excited about it, guys. I'm really not.
You say talk to you after Thanksgiving, and that's really the key there, because after they play the Raiders, they've got the Commanders, who fuck, who knows who they are? They could be good, they could be bad. But then it gets really kind of sketchy because they got the Bills, the Broncos, both on the road. Then they play the Colts, who, by all accounts, look like they're for real. And then, yes, they play a defense worse than ours, believe it or not, in the Cowboys. But that offense is one of the best in the league. And CeeDee Lamb should be more than healthy. In fact, he may be back this week. So, yeah, the Chiefs, they could be back, or it could be they're still in for a 8-9 season because it gets tough for them.
Who's the best
They may
team?
be.
Who's the best team in the NFL right now?
Right now,
best team in the NFL right now.
Buccaneers.
It's hard to argue with the Bucs. Yeah,
I would agree.
They're rolling out a receiving core that looks like the three of us, and they're still winning. What the hell's going to happen when those? And I think Mike Evans might
come back.
They get those three back over the course of the next few weeks. If they navigate these waters over the next 3 weeks, then they get Evans, Godwin, and Emeka back. They're going to be a tough out for anybody. And the Lions, even though the Lions shit the bed against the Chiefs, the Lions are still a very, very good football team.
They are.
I know wide receivers don't win MVPs, but if Jackson Smith and Jigba and Igbuka for Buccaneers continue to show stats like they are, they would be my dark horses maybe to win an MVP.
Yeah.
Other than a quarterback right now.
Yeah, I mean, Emeka Egbuka playing out of his mind, and so is Jackson Smith and Jigba. And you know where they're from? The Ohio State University. All right, we're coming up with about 13 minutes left to go in the show. Dees, you want to lead off with picks, or Ryan, you want to do it? Whatever you want to do. Whoever wants to do that.
Go ahead, Dees.
All right, kicking off yet another London game. The Rams and the Jaguars both coming in 4-2. Dave, we'll go with you first.
Jaguars been playing really good. Puka Nakua's out. I'm going to take the Jags on an upset.
I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Rams too. I think it's going to be tight, but I think that Devontae Adams is going to be enough, even with Puka out, that Rams win a close one. Moving on to the noon games, we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Chicago 3.5-point favorites. I have no reason to believe the Saints are going to pull this off, so I'm going to take the Bears.
I reluctantly take the Bears. I'm just it's a game that Bears should win, but yeah, I'll go to the Bears, but it's going to be closer than
Listen, for the first time, we're going to go unanimous on the Bears. You know how I feel about Caleb Williams. I'm taking the Bears, but I do think the Saints somehow, some way win this game.
Okay.
I would love to see it just so I could go back to work and laugh at all the Bear fans. That brings me joy. Then we got the Dolphins against the Browns in Cleveland. Cleveland actually 2.5-point favorites.
This is the game where which head coach getting fired first is going to be Mike McDaniel or Kevin Stefanski.
I won't be surprised in any way, shape, or form if the losing head coach gets fired Monday. I'll just put it that way.
Oh man. This is a tough one. Both teams suck.
Yes, they do. It's going to be, looks like maybe rainy and 68 in Cleveland, so weather is not going to be a huge factor. I'm going to say that Miami's offense is just going to be able to put up enough to outclass the rookie quarterback in Dylan Gabriel and win. I think it's going to be an ugly, sloppy ass game. I believe Njoku is out, and that's kind of a safety valve for Gabriel. So I am going to go with the Dolphins, like 20-16 type.
I'll take the Dolphins as well. 16-13 Miami.
I'm going Browns. I just don't like what I see out of the Dolphins. Have imploded. They're going to implode some more after this game. Tua calling out his teammates and then apologizing for it afterward. I just think the Browns win a close one.
Oh, this is going to go one of two ways. I think it's going to be not a close game, but I'm going to stick with my Dolphins pick, but I have a feeling that this is their rah come together moment, or this is the complete and utter implosion destruction. And if that happens, then I think McDaniels, whatever the fuck his name is. What is his name? I always forget.
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. I think he gets fired if they lose. Patriots and the Titans. Patriots at the Titans. New head coach.
Doesn't matter.
Well, you say that, but we have seen some really bad teams rally around a new coach.
I'm going to go Patriots. Drake May is playing really well. If the Patriots don't win this game, there's a problem.
I'll take Mike Vrabel too, because he's got a chip on his shoulder from getting fired from Tennessee. He still wanted to be there. I think this is a blowout.
Yeah,
and they dumbed down the offense for Cam Ward. They came out and said it today. So
no, I agree. While I sometimes will lean towards those interim coaches in their debut, Tennessee just doesn't have it enough. And you factor in that they are going up against the guy that they unceremoniously fired in Mike Vrabel. I expect, big Patriot destruction here. Probably 2 or 3 scores. Raiders taking on your Kansas City Chiefs.
Favored by 11.5. If they don't beat them at home, I don't think they're going to cover. Because that's just the Chiefs tend to.
That's a big spread for a divisional game.
I'll go Chiefs like 30-20.
Did you say the spread was 11.5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a divisional game,
wow.
That's huge. Wow.
That is huge.
Unless somebody knows something I don't, but I just don't think they're going to cover.
How long before you see Kenny Pickett?
This could be the game. I thought it might have been last week, but they stuck with him.
Gino's sucking out loud right now.
Yeah, if it goes really bad, if it starts to trend towards that 11.5 spread type game, then we could see Kenny. I personally feel like because it's a divisional game, it's going to be a little tighter than Kansas City wants it to be. Looks like by all accounts, Rashee Rice is going to play. But Chiefs by 7-10 would be my guess.
Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs too.
Eagles and the Vikings. I believe
is JJ back?
I think it's still Wentz. I'm not 100% on that.
Where are they playing at? They're playing in Philly or in Minnesota?
In Minnesota.
Because I just want to see the Eagles
implode.
Yes. I'm going to take Minnesota.
I'm a chaos agent myself, and I would love to see that. We got Carson Wentz potential revenge game, although you could say that about half the league because Carson has played for half the league. I'm going to take Minnesota as well. I think Flores is going to cook up something real nice for Philly.
I take the Vikings, but I think the Eagles this week are going to get back to doing what they do best, running the damn football. I think Barkley's going to get 20-plus touches in the backfield. I've got the Eagles winning a close one.
They better get back to him because I burnt a fucking first-round pick on him in fantasy, and he hadn't done dick. All right, then we got the 3-3 Carolina Panthers taking on the 0-6 goddamn Jets in the Death Life Stadium.
Oh man, I mean, who would have thought the Jets would be 0-6? I bet Aaron Rodgers is laughing all the way to the bank that he left.
Oh yeah, he probably has those games recorded because he's busy, slinging touchdowns in Pittsburgh. But he comes home from a hard day at the office in Pittsburgh. He slaps that Jets tape on and he slathers up the old right hand with lube and just goes to town as he watches the Jets look absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers. If you take the Jets, there's something wrong with you.
Taking the Jets.
Look, they gotta win one, right? It's only happened twice in NFL history. We've had overs, the Browns and the Lions. They've got to win one. I haven't looked at the rest of their schedule, and if they're Carolina's not 3-3 good. All right, let's be honest. They are not a 3-3 football team. They are, but they're not.
But
they're
find
not
ways to win. That's all that matters.
They do, but I'm going to eat these words, and who gives a fuck? Because I eat half the words I say anyway. But give me the goddamn Jets.
Oh, so wait a minute. You and Ryan are taking the Jets. I'm the lone wolf on the Panthers. Okay.
Yeah, they got to win some point, I think.
I'll stick with
that. Shifting now to the afternoon games. A better game than what looks on the schedule. The New York Football Giants taking on the Denver Broncos with Jackson Dart and Captain CTE. Cam Scattaboo.
I'm going Broncos. I think it's going to be closer than what people think, but I'm still taking the Broncos.
Man, I want to take the Giants because Jackson Dart's looking really good in the Brian Daboll offense, but Denver's playing really good. Their defense is good. I'll take Denver.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think the Giants have the weapons in the passing game against that Broncos defense. I think Jackson might struggle a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna go and jump on that Bronco bandwagon as well. Colts taking on the Chargers. Game of the week potential here. 5-1 Colts, 4-2 Chargers. As a Steeler fan, go Chargers.
That's who I want to win. Go Chargers. Justin Herbert. Let's have a breakout game.
I'm on Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I think this is the game there. Danny Dimes comes not crashing down, but a little bit of a reality check. I think that the coaching with the Chargers is just good enough that they can slow him down and go with the Chargers there. Commanders, Cowboys in Dallas.
Deebo Samuels is back this week too, right?
He's out.
He's out?
Deebo's out?
Yeah. Thought they said he was playing. He had a full practice yesterday, right?
I'll double check.
Man, I don't want to take the Cowboys, but George Pickens had a really good game last game. Lit him up. Had like 6 catches, 160-some yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That's the George Pickens experience, though. He's going to absolutely kill it from time to time, and then he's going to also shit the bed from time to time.
Deebo Samuel has been ruled out.
Okay, I'm going to take Death Blue Star.
Yeah. The Dallas Cowboys offense is absolutely clicking. Is CeeDee Lamb? Did they make good?
Let me.
I don't see him on the return thing, so I'm gonna assume that he's still out. Either way, even without him, their offense has really been clicking. So I'm gonna go with Dallas as well.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas too. It says CD is a game time decision. I'm still going Dallas because they lost to the Panthers last week, a game they were supposed to win. They're playing the Commanders, a game they're probably supposed to lose. They always seem to win these games. So I'm gonna take Dallas.
Yeah, what is Dallas is a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
All right, then we have the Green Bay Packers traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I believe Jacoby Brissett is still in line to start that game.
Give me
Yeah,
the
I'm going
Packers.
Yep, Packers probably win big here, and let's hope that they celebrate a little too hard and rest on their laurels because we need it. So yeah, Packers. Sunday night, Falcons taking on the 49ers. Mac Jones slated to start yet again.
I'm going to take the 49ers. I like how Mac Jones is playing in the Kyle Shanahan offense. I'm not sold on Michael Penix Jr. yet. I'm going to take the Niners all day.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to actually follow the numbers here. The Falcons have what, the number 2 offense and the number 1 defense in the NFL right now. I'm going to take the Falcons.
Okay.
But I'm also going to say that if Mac Jones has a good game tonight, we may not see Brock Purdy start another game for the 49ers.
Wow.
Mac Jones is who Shanahan wanted all along. And if Mac Jones leaves no doubt, how can you go back to Brock Purdy?
Okay. You heard it here first on Steel City Renegades.
I got the 49ers.
All right. Monday night, another doubleheader. Can we stop with the fucking Monday night doubleheaders, by the way?
I know. It's so fucking stupid. It's just dumb.
Although I will say that both of them should on paper be really good games. But yeah, let NFL figure it out. One game on Monday night. That's all we need. Buccaneers Lions is the early game kicking off at 7:00 Eastern.
Buccaneers Lions. Man, Baker's playing out of his mind. The Lions just got beat.
Brian Branch suspended.
That's a tough one. But I'm going to go with the Lions, get back on the winning streak or get back on the winning side of things here.
I'm going to go with the Lions. I think that it's just, well, God, I wish, let me call Mike Evans and see if he's going to go. Give me the home team. If Evans plays, though, all bets are off, but I'm going to take the Lions.
Lions are favored by 6.5 for a reason. Somebody knows something I don't. I'm going to take the Lions at home in a close one.
Fair enough. And finally, wrapping it up late on Monday night. God, that'd be a 10:00 kickoff for you boys.
Yeah,
Texans traveling to Seattle, taking on the Seahawks. Yeah, give me the home team just because they're the home team and they're playing well, despite Texans are kind of coming around a little bit, but Seattle's playing too good football right now.
I'm going the other way. I'm going to take Houston with an upset on the road.
All right. Dave?
I'm going to take Seattle.
All right. Ravens, Bills on the bye this week. That's a wrap.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's a wrap.
I'll take the Bills. Yeah, give me the Bills.
I'll take the Bills too. For D's, for Ryan, we'll see you guys next week here, Steel City Renegades. Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy your week number 8 of the NFL coming up.
See ya.
See ya.